What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined tonight by the man, Jay Lonzo. How we doing, Jalen?
I'm feeling great. We're talking about my boy today. I'm pumped.
The man, the myth, the legend, Jhoulys Chacin. However, before we do get into that, everyone be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications as well, so you know when we go live every night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Daily uploads as well every day at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. However, today we're talking about the man, Jhoulys Chacin. I'm not too high on him, to be honest. Jalen is. But Jalen thinks that he could kind of make an impact this spring and possibly give Davy Garcia some competition as the fifth-man rotation spot. Before I let Jalen kind of plead his case here, I'll give a breakdown of Jhoulys Chacin's stats the past couple years. 2020, he only pitched 2 games with the Braves, gave up 4 earned runs in 5 innings. 2019, he split time between the Brewers and Red Sox, 6.01 ERA in 25 starts. However, if you look back a few more years past that, 2018, he was solid with the Brewers. He went 15-8 with a 3.5. And then 2017, he was solid with the Padres, 13-10 with a 3.89. Now, Jalen, before you make your case, I'll say, if the Yankees are getting like 2017, 2018 Jhoulys Chacin, I think, yes, he would be a very viable candidate for that fifth-man rotation spot. However, we haven't seen that sort of performance from him since 2018. So let me know why you think he could still be a viable option.
Well, I think the thing is, I don't think he is going to be 2018, 2017 Jhoulys Chacin ever again. I wouldn't say caught lightning in a bottle, but I think, pitching in the NL Central helped him a lot. Even when he was on the Padres, just pitching against kind of a weak NL West, except for the Dodgers, helped him out a lot as facing pitchers in the lineups that helped him out a lot. So I do think those numbers were kind of, misrepresented or overblown to an extent. I think there was talk of him like being one of the best starters in the National League at one point. And then going into 2019, he was the Brewers opening day starter. That's how good he was in 2018. So while his numbers were a little bit inflated because of where he pitched, he showed that he could pitch in big moments. He pitched in the playoffs. And then the Brewers trusted him enough to be their opening day starter. Now, the Yankees are not looking for an opening day starter. We know who our opening day starters. We know who our 2 and 3, the guys in game 2 and 3 are going to be. We even know who game 4 is going to be.
Sure.
The thing about this Yankees team that I worry about is guys who have been there. So as much as we've seen Kluber in big moments, we are hoping that he can return somewhat to form, but we don't know what he's going to be. Jameson Taillon has never pitched in big moments. He's been injured for most of his career. We do think he has the potential to be a huge part of this rotation, but we don't know. Monty is another guy who's been inconsistent throughout his career. And obviously we know we have a lock and a great guy in Garrett Cole as our ace, which is where you want to start from, of course, but the rest of our rotation is kind of question marks. And while Davy Garcia did show a lot of promise last year, he is still, is he 21 yet? I think he's just turning 21 or
he's very young. Yeah.
He's a young guy. And I do think that the Yankees don't fully trust him to be the solidified 5-starter yet. I think that could change if he has a really dominant spring, and he shows a little bit of growth last year. He showed a little bit of control issues last year, and his stamina wasn't the greatest. He did wear off a lot towards the end of outings. But man, I think a guy like Chacin, while maybe he won't break camp as the 5-starter. However, I think if he remains in the Yankees organization to some extent, I know that they're doing an alternate site this year.
Yeah.
Having a guy like Chacin at the alternate site, and Aaron Boone has mentioned the Yankees are going to get very creative with their starting options at the beginning of the year, as they await the return of Severino. I just think he could be a guy who comes in. He's been there before. He's a veteran. He's shown that he can be a good pitcher in the major leagues. I just don't see an issue with him coming in and being an established veteran presence. I know he's had a down couple of years in the past, but I see him as a guy who can come in almost, I don't want to say reinvent himself, but just kind of, instead of trying to be the top of the line starter that everyone kind of pushed him to being, he can settle in as a number 5, 6, 7 guy and just give us
Fair
that
enough.
almost security behind Davy Garcia, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough in the sense of like I disagree, but I agree at the same time. I think Jhoulys Chacin can kind of be that 2018 Gio Gonzalez for the Yankees, where we think going into spring training like he might have some sort of impact on the rotation. But I don't necessarily see it happening with Chacin, only because I disagree with the idea you said about Devi Garcia. I think that the Yankees do have confidence in him, that he could easily be a solidified fifth man in the rotation. Because, like, I know in the postseason last year, they only let him pitch 1 inning in game 2 of the ALDS. But I think just the idea that they did let him start game 2 of the ALDS, that shows some sort of confidence in him. Also, the fact that they called him up last season over Clark Schmidt shows confidence in him. So I think that there should be no doubt that the Yankees trust Devi Garcia as their fifth man in the rotation. And while like
Yeah.
a veteran presence like Chacin is very good to have as an option, I think looking at the breakdown of that rotation right now, Devi Garcia has to be the almost lock at this point. No,
I would
like
agree
what would
with
it
you.
take
I
for
think
Chacin to take that spot?
to start an opening like the opening day roster as the 5 starter, it would take a lot. He would have to be like lights out this spring, and everyone else would kind of have to struggle.
Yeah.
But I agree with you in the sense that I think David Garcia should be the lock, and I do think he will get the nod coming out of spring, and for the majority of the season. I'm hesitant. That game 2 of the ALDS scarred me. I think if the Yankees had the proper amount of confidence, and I say proper because I think it's warranted. I think he deserves it at this point. He's shown. I know it was in a shortened season, and I know that he had a couple moments where he tinkered and whatever, but he showed enough to me that he could at least be the number 5 starter in this rotation.
Sure.
And I think the Yankees not giving him the full keys in the game. If you're going to go game 2 and you're not going to go Tanaka, then I just don't see how you could mess around with that. Like we had the starters in that series to have a regular 5 starters, whether you wanted to break it down as Cole, Tanaka, Monty, Davey, and then emergency Hap. But
Yeah.
it was just almost like it almost felt like they were more focused on pleasing Hap by getting Hap into a playoff game than it was for the true benefit of the team. And I think the true benefit of the team was giving the ball to your best starter. And if you're not going to give it to Tanaka and you want Tanaka to start game 3, then give the ball to Davey and see what he can do. And
Sure.
I just think he didn't. Did he even open a game the whole regular season? Like I don't even think that was like a move that
No.
they pulled the whole year. So I just
Yeah.
think they didn't trust him in the biggest moment that he had all year. So I'm just a little cautious of just throwing in him as a lock, but I do agree he does deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen, like I hate to like shoot down your dreams here because I know Chacin's your boy, kind of like how Greg Allen's my boy. But looking at like the Yankees' fifth starter spot right now, he's probably below Devi and also below Domingo Herman. So he's probably like the 3rd string right now for that starting spot. However, I agree with you in the sense of injuries are bound to happen with the starting rotation, right? So it could be a big help to keep him at that alternate site as some sort of depth. It's very possible we could see him in the big leagues at some point this season. So I'm not going to put it entirely out of the way. But right now, I don't really see Chacin as a fit for the opening day roster. However, like we said, that could change at any point. But that is going to wrap things up for us today. Unless you have anything else to say about Chacin, your boy.
No, I'm
No.
I'm pulling for him. I know he gave up that little a wall scraper home run the
Yeah.
first time that he had an outing. Wasn't really a wall scraper. It was like 430 feet. But yeah,
Wilson
I think
Ramos cranked it. Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, it happens. But no, I do think you're right. He won't start opening day on the roster, but I think he's a guy similar to like how we've seen Tyler Lyons,
Sure.
Luis Avilan, guys like that, Jaime Garcia in 2017. Just guys that are kind of there for depth. They're veterans. They know, the Yankees kind of know what to expect from them. And at some
Yeah.
point, whether it's injuries or giving guys rest when Sevy comes back, before Sevy comes back, I think he'll make a few. I'd say I could see him making like 10 starts this year.
It's possible. It's very possible. But like I said, that is going to wrap things up for us today. Everyone, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Let us know in the comments what you think about Jhoulys Chacin, whether you love him as much as Jalen does, or you're not as high on him like I am. Jalen's doing his little pigeon throw just like Chacin. But we will see you guys next time. Daily live streams every night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Daily uploads every day at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you guys next time. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Peace.